Welcome to another Juju live session with Joana Saahirah, that's me. This one is about one of my favorite themes, the masculine polarity in Egyptian dance and also in life, because you know that for me, there is no separation between what I learned for Egyptian dance and what I learned for life. This is one of the reasons I adore Egyptian dance, and I've been doing it and teaching it for so long with such passion. You're invited to join me and share your questions about Egyptian dance, about the masculine polarity. If you have doubts, if you have your own experience around this topic, if there is something related to it you want to share with me, feel welcome to do so in the comments to this video. I am here to deliver, and I'm here to have fun with you with my cup of coffee, okay? So before we dive into the meaning of the masculine polarity and how it applies to Egyptian dance, why we need it, how does it show when we have it activated, and how does it show when we don't have it activated, before I tell you about men also and Egyptian dance, which is related but not the same as the masculine polarity. Before I tell you about all of these things and answer some of the most frequent questions around this theme, I'm gonna do the presentation. I have to. So my name is Joana Saahirah, but that you already know. I'm a world-renowned Oriental dancer, teacher, choreographer, author, and I'm also the creator of the pioneering Joana Saahirah's World and Joana Saahirah's online dance school, delivering authentic Egyptian dance as I have learned it in Egypt. So many years of study and research and career from there, and also personal discovery and empowerment, because for me, as I've already told you, there is no way on earth I can teach Egyptian dance without teaching personal discovery and empowerment. Those things come together like bread and butter, baby. Okay, so let's dive into this session. At the end of the session, of course, I'm going to tell you about Joana Saahirah's signature course, where you will be able to develop your masculine polarity as well as your feminine polarity and a bunch of another life-changing things that I'm so excited to share with you. But for now, I'm going to dive into the questions I have selected. And then again, if you're watching this live, feel welcome to pop into the comments, say hi, or share your questions with me around the theme of the masculine polarity in Egyptian dance, okay? Now, as you know, I like to clarify things before we discuss things so that we are sure we're talking about the same thing, all right? So what does it mean, the masculine polarity? Hi, Stonel. Hello, darling. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. What does it mean, masculine polarity? The first thing you gotta know is when we talk about masculine polarity, we're not talking about men. Okay? It's not about men. Men is one thing, masculine polarity is another thing. I know men who do not have their masculine polarity activated, and I know women who do have their masculine polarity activated. The same way I know men who have their feminine polarity very well developed and active, and I also know women who do not have their feminine polarity healthy and strong and in active shape. So men and women is one thing, feminine and masculine polarities is another thing, all right? Don't confuse. It's not about your sexuality, it's not about your gender, it's not about if you're called a woman or a man or anything in between. Nothing to do with it. Whenever I talk about the feminine polarity or the masculine polarity, I get comments of people telling me, Joana, but I don't follow gender, I don't recognize gender. This has nothing to do with gender, people. It has nothing to do with gender. Let me make this clear once more. The masculine and the feminine polarities are principles of energy, are dynamics that are present in all nature, and we're part of nature, women and men. So we, men and women have within the masculine and the feminine polarities, the yin and the yang, okay, that the Chinese described so well. So in order to have everybody on the same place, everybody on the same foot, so that we know exactly what I'm gonna share with you in this live session. I have brought the definition of yin and yang because I think it's the best definition ever, and it's gonna clarify exactly what I mean by feminine and masculine, okay? Still no, let me know if you think you have your masculine polarity active and working properly in you. Just out of curiosity, let me know. Now, I'm gonna read from my notes, okay? I didn't write it. This is not coming from me. It is the definition, the official definition of yin, feminine polarity, and yang, masculine polarity, okay? In ancient Chinese philosophy, yin and yang is a concept of dualism, describing how obviously opposite and contrary forces may actually be complementary, interconnected, and interdependent in the natural world, and how they may give rise to each other as they interrelate to one another. This is what I mean by feminine and masculine polarity, okay? So nothing to do with gender, nothing to do with being a man or being a woman, okay? Now, the first question I have selected for you is an important one. What is the masculine polarity? How can we describe it? How does it manifest? Okay, this is also another base that we have to get clear. So the masculine polarity is the sun in you. Symbolically, let's imagine that you're composed, well, not let's imagine, let's assume, because it is what it is. We are composed of conscious and unconscious, right? Our conscious mind and our unconscious mind. We're composed of sun and moon. We're composed of light and darkness. We're composed of silence and speech. We're composed of stillness and action. All of those dual dynamics that are part of who we are descriptions of the feminine and the masculine. Okay? So how does it manifest, the masculine polarity? And I'm not only saying in Egyptian dance, I'm saying it in life as well. Okay? How can we claim someone has their masculine polarity well developed? Let's put it this way, in a more practical way. Hi Audrey, Sabah Nuria Habibti. Audrey says Sabah al-Khair, Sabah al-Ward ya Gamila. How are you, Audrey? Thank you for popping in and let me know about your masculine polarity, guys. Give me your feedback on this. I want to hear from you. I promise to read the comments, okay? So how can we tell if someone, let's say a dancer, a woman, okay, has their masculine polarity well developed, active, okay? So the masculine polarity will give you the strength not only to have a voice, but to express your voice. What I'm doing with you right now, it's a manifestation of my masculine polarity. What is it? I'm putting my voice out there. I'm putting my message, my content, my identity, my work, my perspective out there. I am exhaling. I'm giving content. I'm communicating with the outside world. I am making this happen with you. Before I went live, I had to prepare my studio. I had to prepare my lights, my microphone, my camera, my internet, my notes. All of this action mode of making stuff happen in the real physical world is part of a healthy masculine polarity. How many of us dream about things, talk about things, wish for things, but do nothing about those things? That's a lack of masculine polarity. So I've just given you the first example. Another example of masculine polarity well developed is someone who is not afraid to take risks, who is not afraid to move towards their goals, towards their vision, towards the things they believe in, who is not afraid not only to put their voice out there, but to make things happen and to fail if necessary. You know, because failure, mistakes, not getting it right are natural consequences of doing. And doing is territory of the masculine polarity. So if you are a doer, if you are a woman who loves to make stuff happen, and you're not afraid of being imperfect, you're not afraid of falling, because you know that's part of the adventure. You know it. So you do it anyway. No, this is a healthy masculine polarity in action, okay? You can say, wow, okay, that's a good woman with a good masculine polarity in action. She's not afraid to put herself out there and to act upon the things she believes in. Another manifestation of a healthy masculine polarity is assertiveness. Something that in women is not very well accepted, as you know. I've been criticized so many times because I'm assertive and I believe in what I do. Even students of mine who love me, who are in my courses, some of them are in my private coaching. Can you imagine? So these are people who are very connected with me. They tell me, Joana, honestly, sometimes you sound too preachy. You're too assertive. I swear by God. And I love it, of course, because when I ask for feedback, I ask for honest feedback, and I always find it when it comes from a place of love, obviously, and I trust those students. They are people who know me and who love me, so I know that it's coming from their heart. I trust their feedback and I think about their feedback. But even then, this is a woman or women who know me and love me to say, too preachy, too assertive, too strong, too out there. Why? Because in a way, they are not used to seeing women putting themselves out there with such assertiveness, saying what they think, what they feel, what they believe in with fire, with conviction. It bothers people. It disturbs a lot of people, including women who may love you. Okay, so it's very it's curious to observe it. I think it's very interesting to observe how being assertive, not aggressive, that's something else. Assertiveness is not aggressivity. I tell this to my students all the time. So being assertive and speaking your truth, it's not the universal truth, it's your truth, it's my truth. I don't speak in the word of God, okay? I speak in my own word. So when I share something that I have learned, usually from study and experience, I share it with full conviction, full assertiveness. I am not gonna go halfway. Maybe this is, I'm not sure, I'm so sorry. No. This is what I know. I may discover something different along the way, and if I do, I will share it with the same assertiveness and clarity. The question is, I'm not afraid to be clear and sharp and confident in the way I express my perspective on the world. And that is masculine polarity at its maximum power, okay? Super important. What else? Another manifestation of the masculine polarity that I think is so important is the creation of boundaries. Yes, boundaries, the ability of saying no. And women are very good at saying yes. I'm generalizing, guys, I'm generalizing, don't kill me, okay? When I say women, I'm generalizing. Most of us, myself included, we're so good at saying yes. Because we want to be liked, we want to belong, we want to be loved, we want to be approved of. We are loving, emotional, social beings. So it's natural that we don't want to create conflict with other people. It's natural that we don't want to create a possible crisis by saying no, by saying I'm not interested, not here, not with me, not now. We're afraid and avoiding conflict all the time. But by doing so, we betray ourselves. And very often we betray our life, because when you say yes to everything and to everyone, you say no to yourself. And the things that are really important in your life, they go to hell, because you're always attending to other people's needs. And you're not attending to your needs, you're not attending to your goals, you're not attending to your vision. So there is a movement that comes from the masculine polarity that I think it's so powerful. That is maybe considered by a lot of people like selfishness, which is, now I'm gonna do me. It doesn't mean I'm gonna say no to everyone and to everything, but I'm gonna practice the art of saying no. No, I am not interested, but thank you for inviting me. No, I'm not interested, but thank you for the proposal. No, not with me. Ain't gonna happen with me, baby. But I wish you the best. Okay? No, I cannot do that for you. I would love to, but I have no time right now. Or I don't have the enough energy or enough focus to deliver that right now. So this ability of saying no and setting boundaries of what's acceptable, what's not acceptable for each one of us, baby, that is coming from the masculine polarity, and it's so important that you develop it, right? Another thing that I really love about the masculine polarity is generosity. It's the movement of giving, okay? So remember that when we talk about polarities, we're talking about this dual movement, right? These dynamics that work together. The night cannot exist without the day, right? Light cannot exist without the shadow, darkness. Giving cannot exist without receiving. There is a balance, or at least we should work for that balance. So one of the other features that I really love about masculine polarity is the ability to give. It's generosity. Okay, so if the feminine polarity relates to our ability of receiving, the masculine is about giving. How generous am I? How bountiful am I? Or how bountiful do I perceive myself to be? Because sometimes you're bountiful and you don't feel bountiful, okay? How much do I give to others? How much do I give to the world? How much can I exhale? This is masculine polarity. Something else I absolutely love about this polarity is clarity. Clarity of who I am, clarity of what I want, clarity of what I don't want, and then the strength to go for it, to materialize the things that I do want and the things that I do not want. In that case, I'm not going to materialize them, but I'm going to keep it sharp and clear in my life and in my dance, the things that make sense for me and the things that do not make sense for me. And that's also part of the masculine polarity. What else? And I could be here all day telling you about the masculine polarity. The masculine polarity is about facing war when we need to go to war. And what does that mean? It is not necessarily an external war, although sometimes it is. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat the question. Sometimes it is. But what I mean by going to war is accepting that life also brings conflict, also brings disagreement. It also brings shocks. It also brings revolutions. It also brings moments when you have to step on the floor and say, no, ain't gonna happen anymore. Yalla. And you show me how you're gonna go to do this over my dead body, or you ain't. Okay? Injustice, dishonesty, things that make our heart and our soul go into a revolution that says, no, this is not okay, this is unacceptable. We cannot accept oppression, we cannot accept racism or any other kind of discrimination. We cannot accept being robbed by the government, for instance, as we are. We cannot accept this kind of torture or manipulation. The ability to say no and go into battle when necessary. This is the masculine polarity. Because the feminine, and that's a subject for another Juju Facebook live session. The feminine is all-inclusive. The feminine is the yes. Feminine is receptivity. Everything is welcome. Everyone is welcome. There is no discrimination. The masculine discriminates. And in some areas of our life and in some areas of our dance, that's necessary. We need to discriminate what matters, what doesn't matter. What I believe in, what I don't believe in. What is right and what is wrong. What I want to accept and what I don't want to accept. And having the strength to go into battle, go into conflict if necessary. And if the conflict is going to bring evolution. If something good is going to come out of that conflict, it's not a conflict for the conflict. It's not going into war to destroy. No. War as a symbol of conflict that is also necessary in life whenever we want to change things. whenever we want to make a revolution in our private lives or in our public social lives. Okay, so these are some of the features of the masculine polarity that for sure I believe everyone, men and women, should develop. And one of the things that I really love about Egyptian dance is that it will make you develop them, like it or not. Okay, but more on that later. Stunil is saying, let me see what you're saying, guys. I don't think I'm connected to my masculine polarity as frequently as my feminine. In life, I take more of a supportive role instead of a lead role. Okay, Stunil, thank you for sharing. So here's the thing. I don't think any of us has both polarities in perfect balance. You know, this balance between the yin and the yang is something that we can aspire to, something that we can walk towards. But I have never met anyone in my life, men or women, who had both polarities very well balanced. All of us will tend to fall to one or the other, also depending on the stage of our life. You know, I believe that, for instance, if you've been a mother recently, there is an activation of the feminine polarity in the woman, for sure, because you will need it. That's nature's way of making sure that baby will survive, will be taken care of, right? If you're starting a business, for instance, a business of your own, damn sure your masculine polarity will be activated. And if it's not, you're dead fish. Okay, so sometimes it depends on the circumstances of our life and what they require. And also it depends on our dynamics, what is comfortable for us, the benefits we get from tapping into one polarity or the other, okay? Because a woman who has a strong masculine polarity in her is usually less supported because she's perceived as strong. So, oh, she doesn't need support. She's okay. She's the one who supports. She's not the one who is supported. So that is something that a lot of women will run away from because they want to be supported. A woman who has her masculine polarity well developed will probably be seen as threatening to other women. So a lot of women will not tap into that polarity because they want their friends to like them. They want other women to like them. They want to be a part of a group. They want to belong. So also what I'm inviting you to think about is, it's not so much if you don't have enough of the masculine polarity, it's perhaps a more interesting question. What is it right now in my phase, in the phase that you're living in your life, the facets, the qualities of the masculine that would benefit me and the people that are important in my life? Okay, is it more assertiveness? Is it more clarity? Is it more action? Is it more generosity? Is it more you speaking up what matters to you and speaking up what you think honestly? Is it you not being afraid of conflict if that means you're going to solve a problem, if that means you're going to bring yourself and other people to a better place? So it's never about minimizing the feminine polarity or erasing. It's about bringing these two worlds in connection to each other as close and as balanced as possible. Okay? And remember, none of us has it fully balanced. I don't have it fully balanced. I tend to the masculine polarity, but that's also due to my character and due to my life circumstances. Right? So I had to work from a very early age, and I launched myself at life at a very early age, and I positioned myself in situations that demanded that I develop my masculine polarity much more than my feminine polarity. So I have the imbalance, okay, that you don't have. So it doesn't mean I am better or worse than you. It doesn't mean I'm more evolved or less evolved. It just means that our life circumstances and perhaps our personalities, our characters, have allowed us to develop one polarity more than the other. But the more we bring these two dynamics together, the healthier and the more empowered we become. Okay, so ask yourself, how can I bring this masculine polarity quality to my life in a way that is going to balance my feminine, that is going to benefit me and the ones I love? Okay? Still says, she says, I would not consider myself assertive and I struggle with boundaries. Okay, yeah, that's certainly, that's certainly a warning sign. Okay, because as I mentioned, assertiveness, clarity, boundaries, the ability to speak our truth, to put our internal world, which is feminine, in the outside world, which is masculine, this is super important. Super important. And if you don't start at least to question, why am I not doing this? You're just gonna harm yourself, and you're gonna dim your light, okay? Because the masculine is also about shining your light, okay? If the feminine is the moon, which is light turned within, the masculine is the sun. It's your ability to shine. It's your ability to develop your identity in this world. So if you feel like that polarity is not there, you're probably dimming your light. For whatever reason, I don't know. Okay? But I have to tell you something, we have connected on so many levels. You are at Joana Saahirah's online dance school. You've been at our events, and I always remember you as a very, very assertive and kick-ass woman. That's the image I have of you, curiously. Okay, but that may not be the image you have of yourself, and you know yourself better than I do. So think about everything I'm sharing in this live session, and if you need more help, email me, okay? Email me. Hi, Tanya. Juju top session, yes. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Okay, guys, so now another question, which is related, but it's not related, okay? But it's one of the questions that I received the most in all of these years of career in Egyptian dance, which is Egyptian dance for men? Again, let me repeat, masculine polarity is not the same as men, okay? I've already said that. If you didn't hear it, go back to the beginning of this session. But for some reason, people relate, okay, the masculine polarity directly to men. So they ask me, is Egyptian dance for men? And my answer is, Egyptian dance is for everyone. And Egyptian dance is for whoever wants to move, whoever wants to express themselves, whoever wants to feel alive and thriving. That's it, okay? And a lot of the great teachers we have in Egyptian dance are men. Two of my top teachers, I would say my two most influential teachers were men. I didn't choose them because they were men. There are lousy male teachers in Egyptian dance, and there are great male teachers in Egyptian dance, just as there are lousy and great female teachers in Egyptian dance. So let's not make it a war between men and women. It's not. You're either a great dancer or you're not. I don't care if you are an alien, a man, a woman, or anything in between. You're either a great teacher or you're not. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. You're either a great choreographer or you're not. And there are terrible choreographers, male, terrible choreographers in Egyptian dance, and there are some that are very good. So I studied with Shokri Mohammed and Mahmoud Reda, for instance. These were my two long-term teachers. They were men, coincidentally or not, they were men. Does it mean that I prefer to study with men? No. I have also studied with amazing women. But the women I have studied with were not with their teaching practice. They were dancers who were not teaching continuously. That's why I believe I stood with male teachers. I don't think it was a conscious choice. So Suher Zaki, Nagwa Fuad, Aza Sharif, Mona Said, the female teachers I love that influenced me, they were not teaching continuously. Either they were teaching in the festivals or privately. So for instance, with Aza Sharif, I studied at her home in Mohandasin. Okay, I studied with her in festivals, but at her home. With Suherzeki, I also took private classes and also in a festival, but mostly private classes. With Mona Said, only in festivals. These women, unfortunately, and I don't know why, don't have their own dance schools. Men do. Men do. And this is another question that we may want to think together. Why men are so much more prone to open their dance schools in Egyptian dance than women, when the best dancers in Egyptian dance are actually women, in my opinion, obviously. So having clarified that, Egyptian dance is for everyone, guys. There is not, it's a non-question, okay, to ask if men can do it. Of course they can do it. Everyone can do it, okay? Now, I do believe that women bring a depth to Egyptian dance that men don't bring. But that's only me, and that's my opinion as well, okay? But again, there are incredible men doing Egyptian dance. There are incredible men teaching Egyptian dance and choreographing Egyptian men. Beautiful. And the ones I studied with, Shokri Mohammed and Mahmoud Reda, they were perhaps the closest I've ever been to human beings who have their masculine and their feminine polarities well balanced. They were masculine and they were feminine in equal amounts. They had the characteristics, the features of both polarities very well balanced, exceptionally balanced, I would say. But absolutely, Egyptian dance is for everyone, guys. Stop making it a woman's thing or a man's thing. It is not a gender thing. It is open. In Egypt, you will see men dancing as much as you see women dancing, okay? In parties, in weddings, in the markets. It's normal. Now, why do I have to develop my masculine polarity for Egyptian dance? Okay. Why do you have to develop? First of all, you don't have to do anything by obligation. I tell this my students all the time. Everything in life is an invitation. Except for taxes and death. Those are not invitations. You really have to go through them. You will die someday and you have to pay taxes, like it or not. Otherwise, nothing is an obligation. You don't have to do something. You are invited to do something. But you don't have to. It's your choice, okay? The way I teach Egyptian dance brings together these two polarities. So it's not like you become an example of masculine polarity. It's not like you become an example of feminine polarity. We bring these two polarities together. That's what we do in my teaching method, in my school, in my private coaching, in my pedagogy, the pedagogy that I use to teach Egyptian dance. So many women arrive to Egyptian dance, like me, with a total ignorance about the feminine and the masculine. This is the first thing. They don't even know what those polarities are. And then most women arrive with a predominance of the feminine polarity. In my experience, most women I have taught arrive to Egyptian dance with a predominance, with a dominion of feminine polarity. That means they lack a lot of the traits that we eventually develop inside our learning path, let's call it that way, that are connected to the masculine polarity. So they usually lack the assertiveness I already mentioned, the clarity about who they are and what they want, the lack of guts to act upon their dreams, to move forward from themselves, for themselves, the lack of voice. They don't have a voice, or they forgot what it means to have their own voice and to express it. They lack self-confidence. They lack boundaries or the ability to impose boundaries. They lack the strength to stand up for what they believe and put themselves out there in a big way. They usually play small. They usually see themselves way smaller than they are. They usually tend to like that other people tell them what to do, as opposed to deciding what do I want. and going for it. So most women I meet in my teaching practice come with this imbalance, and their feminine polarity is very much developed very frequently in a distorted way, okay? And their masculine polarity is totally asleep. Totally asleep. And now let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. There is a reason why it is totally asleep. First of all, we're not educated as little girls to be assertive, to be strong, to be outspoken, to be clear, to be motivated and motivational, to be prone to action, to be generous, to put ourselves and our voice and our identity out there. We're not told to be that. If a little girl is too loud, we tell her to dim it, to shut it down. If a little girl is too bossy, aka she has leadership skills, we tell her to be a little bit more humble. Why are you so bossy? If a little girl is clear about who she is and what she wants, we think that's weird. If a little girl is feisty, fearless, if she likes to get things done, we think she's a black sheep, something out of the box. So we do not usually support women who have all of those beautiful traits from the masculine polarity. We don't support little girls like that, and we definitely don't support women like that, okay? I've been told in my life so many times that I am too masculine. Joana, you are too masculine. And I always take it as a compliment because I know exactly where it comes from, okay? The moments when I was told I am too masculine were moments when I was asserting my value. I was making my self-worth and my self-respect expressed and clear. I was saying, not in my world, you ain't, you mother, Oh, you're too masculine, you're a savage. No, 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 no. I'm just not a carpet for you to step on. You know, so a woman who is not a coward, a woman who does not silence herself and bows and looks at the floor, a woman who is not afraid to speak up and say, this is unacceptable for me, this is not what I go for, this is not who I am, this is not the kind of woman most people will support. And I mean most people, men and women alike. You would think women like strong women. Nah, not necessarily. Okay? Because when you see a strong woman and you are not developing your strength, you're either going to have one of two reactions. You're either going to admire that person and she's going to inspire you because she's a mirror of the strength that you know unconsciously you also have within, or you're going to hate her. For the same reason, because she reflects the strength you have within, but you did not have the guts to put outside, to put out there, to put into action. So you're either gonna admire her or hate her, and sometimes both at the same time. I had admirers who were haters also. A lot of them, it's very funny. It's very funny. They love you to death. They follow everything that you do. They subscribe to your courses. They take private classes, but they hate you to their guts because at the same time, there is this sense of she has what I don't have. She is what I hope I would be, but I'm not. And that's a total, it is a totally wrong chain of thoughts. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a woman I admire, a very strong woman with a very well-developed masculine polarity. Everyone knows Oprah, right? Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey has been one of my biggest inspirations since I can remember. And I mean, like, I would die if I see her, and you will not, if I see her personally, and you will not hear me speaking about anyone else like that, only Oprah, okay? And Maya Angelou, but Maya Angelou is not amongst us anymore, not physically at least. So I love Oprah. When I was living in Cairo and performing, the only thing I saw on the television was the Oprah show. Can you imagine? And the Oprah show was aired when I was getting my makeup done before I head to my venue to meet my orchestra and to perform. So my makeup routine every day was done to the sound of Oprah's voice. And I remember how much she impacted me. Her assertiveness, very loving but very strong. Her clarity. The way she puts her voice out there in the world in such a clear, soft but very strong way. Everything in her resonated with me because she had qualities I had in me. But I did not hate her. I could have hated her because there were some qualities that I saw in her that I did not develop at the time. I had not developed in myself yet. So I could have hated her. Why is she so assertive? Why is she so confident? Why is she so clear? Why is she so outspoken? And I'm not. But my reaction was, damn, she's amazing. And you know what? I have those qualities in me. Why am I not developing them? Why am I just watching a woman be that, be her, and why am I not being my full self? Why am I not being more assertive in my life? Why am I not stepping on the ground and saying, this is for me, this is not? Why am I not speaking my truth? Why am I not putting myself there in a big time with confidence? This is masculine polarity, and Oprah has it. And I saw it in her, and I loved her and admired her, and she pushed me forward through example. But that's not the only way to react to a strong woman. Okay? Many times you don't like a woman and you don't even know why. Oh, she annoys me. I have received emails from women who tell me, Joana, I follow your work, but you annoy me. I love it. I love it. I don't take it to heart because I think it's so interesting. You know, I think about it. Wow, that's amazing. You follow my work. You spend the time to communicate with me, to send me an email, to tell me that I annoy you. That's fascinating, you know, because we are mirrors. So be very careful of the mirrors that you choose. And when you see a strong woman who has a strong, healthy masculine polarity developed in her, make sure that you observe your reaction, right? You're either gonna say, this inspires me, I could do that as well. I could embrace those qualities as well in me, in my life, in my dance, or she annoys me, she irritates me. Of course she irritates you because she's putting herself out there and you're not. So she's a reminder of what you could be doing but are not doing. That's annoying, I understand. But it's so much more interesting to look at other women and see that strength, that masculine polarity thriving and shining and say, damn, if she has it, I have it. If I admire her, it's because something in her is within me. And if it's within me, all I gotta do is develop it. Okay. Stunel, hi Ramza. Hi Ramza. Stunel says, could it be a fear of failure? Yes, Stunel, absolutely. Look, a huge part of the masculine polarity, as I said, is related to the sun. Okay, sun is a symbol. So what is the sun? Sun is our identity. Okay, the sun is our identity, is the I, Joana, I, Stunel, I, Ramza, I, Tanya. It's my identity, it's who I am, it's my core. The masculine polarity is about expressing your identity. It's about putting your identity out there, either expressing it in the way you move in your dance or expressing it in the way you move in your life. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, okay? If I put myself out there, if I shine like the sun from within, because identity is within. My identity is not out there in the sky. My identity is here in my core. It's my beliefs, my character traits, my characteristics, my genetic code. That's my identity. If I express myself from within, from that core, and if the reactions of the outside world are not kind, supportive, I may feel attacked in my identity. So yes, absolutely, the fear of failure is a big thing that stops women from embracing their feminine and their masculine polarity. And guys, I'm only focusing on the masculine polarity today, okay? I'm not mentioning the feminine. That's another Juju live session, okay? We're just focusing on the masculine, but the feminine is super important as well. There is not one superior to the other. Remember, what we want is to bring both in a combination, in a dance of interconnectedness. Because if my speech is not followed by silence, it weakens. If my action is not followed by rest, it weakens. If my day is not followed by the night, I will die. So life is made of these two polarities in a dance, in a continuous dance. What we want and what authentic Egyptian dance does is bring those polarities in a sharper, closer balance. Egyptian dance, as I see it, as I teach it, brings the feminine and the masculine polarities together in a more balanced, complete, interconnected way. All right. But the fear of failure, it's definitely one of the reasons why women don't go for their masculine polarity. They don't allow themselves to shine. They don't allow themselves to speak what they want, their truth, to speak their message, because they're afraid, what if people don't like it? What if they criticize me? What if I'm judged? What if people become my enemies as a result? If I state who I am, if I put it out there. And my answer to that is this. When you develop your masculine polarity, you also develop the boundaries of who you are and who you are not. And you gotta love who you are. The boundary, the frontier that divides your inner world from the outside world has to be there. There is a frontier. I put a lot of content in the world, okay? Let me use my example because it's easy. I put a lot of content out there in the world, a lot, for a long time, okay? A lot of people like it, a lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it, a lot of people don't even know if they like it just because it's me, they don't like my face, whatever. The question is, do I like it? And the answer is yes. I love the content I put out there in the world because it is a reflection of who I am. It is a reflection of my research, my career, my experience, my accumulated knowledge. I believe in what I do and I love what I do. Independently, if people like it, they don't like it, they follow it, they don't follow it. This is a big conversation nowadays because of social media. And of course, for people who have online businesses like me, for instance, I transitioned or I complemented my presential, my physical work with the online world even before the pandemic, okay? I was already doing that transition. I was beginning to the creation of Joana Saahirah's world and Joana Saahirah's online dance school so that I could reach people from all over the globe, mostly. And what this online world brings is the thirst for likes and followers. And I have two things to tell you on that, okay? Because this is connected with the fear of failure, of putting yourself out there and then not having the feedback you would expect. First of all, successful businesses and successful people are not necessarily the ones with the most followers. Okay? You can have a lot of followers and no clients. You can have a lot of likes and nobody's buying your products, nobody's buying your show, nobody's buying your courses, nobody is interested in what you have to sell and to in your professional work. They're only interested for whatever reason in your free content. This is one thing I want you to think about. Followers and likes do not equal a better, stronger business. I know people who have a lot of followers and their businesses are hell, not working, not profitable, not working, not growing. And I know people who do not focus on followers. I am one of them. I don't focus on followers. I don't create content to have more followers. I could, but that's not me. That's not where my focus is. Okay? This is not what I want to do. I'm more interested in providing real content to a niche of people who is really interested in growing. And that niche of people is actually allowing me to grow my business and actually allowing me to serve them and to serve me and my life and my vision for my career. So that's what I want, but that's only me. And the question is, not confusing likes and followers with success is important. And also liking what you do and liking yourself as opposed to expecting others to do that job for you is also very important. So when we develop the masculine polarity, we deal with failure. Still, we have to deal with failure. You know, I have courses that sell very well. I have courses that don't sell so well. I have videos who have a lot of engagement. I have videos who don't have a lot of engagement. I have all sorts of experiences in my private and professional life where people liked me and where people did not like me or people simply ignored me. And for me, everything is fine because I like me. And I like what I do. If I don't believe in a content, I don't put it out there. If I don't believe in a message, I don't express it. I don't share that message. So it's super important that you learn to distinguish what is self-worth and self-confidence and self-love from this need that nowadays people have of the approval of others, very much in the shape of followers, likes, comments, you know. I'm going to give you another example. Recently, I received an email from a very kind dancer, not my student. I don't think she's my student. At least I did not recognize the name. And she told me, Joana, sorry to bother you. I don't know if you can help me. I recorded a performance I did in Atlanta, USA. And I shared it in my social media because I was so happy with this performance and I enjoyed myself so much, but then nobody commented on it. I had no likes, I had no comments, I had nothing. It was like a big silence. Should I remove it? I'm feeling like shit, she told me. Sorry, pardon my French, guys, but I'm feeling like shit, she told me. And of course, she sent me the video. I watched the video. It was lovely, very lovely. And she was clearly enjoying herself. I told her, honey, first of all, keep that video there. You know, it's your thing, it's your dance, it makes you proud, it makes you happy, it's your social media platform, it's your Facebook profile. Keep it there, man. Don't remove it just because people did not like it. You liked it, right? This is super important. Second, when you share something, when you put your voice out there, when you put yourself out there in any way, shape, or form, don't expect others to do the job of approving of it. Feedback is important, very important. I ask for feedback from my students and from my friends all the time. How did I do? Did you like it? How can I help you? How can I make it better? I ask for feedback because I know honest, well-intentioned feedback can help me improve. But I don't wait for people's approval. I'm not doing things for anyone's approval. So it's very important to come to terms with you approving of yourself, okay? You knowing who you are, what you stand for, and putting it out there fearlessly. The ones who are gonna love it will love it. The ones who are not gonna love it will not love it. And even if nobody loves it, the important is that you love it, okay? In terms of business, if you're doing this in terms of business, that's slightly different, but that's a theme for another Juju session, okay? Let me see. Sunil is commenting, it's strange that they would be annoyed. I've always thought it best to surround myself with people that challenge me and help me grow. Being around people with more developed masculine polarity than I can learn to embrace it. Yeah, but Sunil, we have to remember, as I explained, very often people don't like us or they get annoyed by us because we reflect a quality they have within but have not developed. So we are reminders of what they could be doing but are not doing. And that is disturbing. And instead of turning inside and asking, why is she disturbing me? Why is the strength in this woman so disturbing to me? Instead of asking that question, they put it on you because it's so much easier. You're off the hook. Oh, it's her. I don't like her face. That's it. Closed subject. You know, so I am not surprised because I've been dealing with the public for a long time, you know, with different kinds of public, and I am very, very used to all kinds of reactions, and I'm even able to have fun with these reactions, you know, just enjoy what it is, you know. Now, will I become less feminine if I develop my masculine polarity? Okay. Will I become less feminine if I develop my masculine polarity? Will I lose my femininity? Will I lose my sensuality? Will I lose my softness? Will I lose my fluidity? Will I lose my sensibility? Nope. The answer is no. Then again, guys, becoming more balanced, having these two life dynamics interconnected and working together doesn't mean that you're going to become more of a man or more of a woman, okay? You're still going to keep your feminine polarity intact, and I would even say you're going to become more feminine if you introduce the masculine polarity. Why? I'm going to give you example. Again, very practical example. As you know, I'm very action oriented. I am action oriented. If I want to do something, if I dream about something, I ask myself, how am I going to do this? I'm not going to lose time. Who is doing it? Who's not doing it? Let me check. No, 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 no. I want this. It makes sense for me. Okay, how am I going to do it? Period. And I go for it. But this takes a lot of energy because doers are not critics. Doers do stuff. And doing is a lot of work. And doing is tiring because it's work. So, as a doer, I discovered that if I tap into my stillness even deeper than I did before, I become a better doer. I become more accomplished. My ability to turn dreams into reality improves. If I combine my action mode, which is very active, very strong, very sharp, with the rest, with the stillness, with the silence, with the contemplation of the feminine polarity. Okay? This is an example how when you really bring your masculine polarity into the table in a conscious way. So I am aware I'm on a masculine mode right now. I'm aware. But I'm also on a feminine mode whenever I feel. I take a breath. I take a sip of my coffee. I use my intuition to communicate with you. All of these things are interconnected all the time. So the use of my intuition is feminine. The expression of what my intuition is telling me is masculine, and they work together, right? So you do not become less feminine when you tap into your masculine polarity. You can actually become more feminine because you need that balance. If I'm someone who does a lot, if I'm someone who is very out there making stuff happen, I am aware, painfully aware, that I need stillness to counterbalance that. I am aware that I need moments of downtime. I need moments of silence when I don't have anyone asking me anything. I don't have to teach, or I don't have to choreograph. I don't have to dance. I don't have to write. I don't have to give something of me. Okay, super important. If I am assertive with my own truth, if I offer myself, if I grant myself the right to speak my truth, which is of the masculine polarity, I become more tolerant towards the truth of others. That's the feminine. It's the inclusiveness. It's the empathy. It's the ability to receive and accept the other. So as much as I dive into my assertiveness and the clarity of communicating what I think, I will, in the same amount, in the same portion, allow others to do the same, to express their voice, to express their perspective. So conversations like, this is how I see it. What about you? How do you see it? This is a clear example of masculine and feminine polarity interconnected in balance. I have the strength to tell you who I am and what I stand for, but I create the space so that you can give me your perspective, who you are and what you believe in and what you stand for. And I receive you with the same easiness that I use to give of myself. So this is this movement of giving and receiving, of exhaling and inhaling, right? Inhaling is the feminine. Exhaling is the masculine. Yeah. And these polarities, they play with each other like that. Okay? Absolutely, you become more feminine. You tap more into your feminine polarity if you work on your masculine polarity in a clear, healthy way. We're not talking about distorted masculine polarity that will bring us into aggressivity, dictatorship, stress, competition, comparison. That's a distorted concept of the masculine polarity, and many women go there, and men as well, and they presume this is the masculine polarity. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just like passivity and lack of character and lack of a voice is a distorted feminine polarity. So there are the polarities, and then there are the distorted concepts we have made of those polarities. Okay, when we talk about the feminine polarity, we're not talking about passivity, we're not talking about someone who is a shadow, who has no identity, we're not talking about someone who doesn't have a voice. That is a distorted feminine polarity. When we talk about the masculine polarity, we're not talking about a beast. We're not talking about someone who is competing and rushing and fighting and comparing all the time and being aggressive. That's not what the masculine polarity stands for. That is a distorted concept of the masculine polarity. So watch out for the distortions that we individually and collectively have put upon these two polarities. Cheers. One more question. Will I become a more powerful dancer if I tap into my masculine polarity? Okay. Will I become a more powerful dancer if I tap into my masculine polarity? First, we have to know, I don't know what this person means by powerful, right? I mean, powerful is also a concept. So a powerful dancer for me may not be what a powerful dancer is for you, okay? A powerful dancer for me is a dancer, then again, who brings her light to the table. Her light or his light, men or women, okay? Someone who brings her best dance, her best character, her best stamina, her best energy, her best emotion. Someone who is fully embodied and in charge of who she is or who he is, and expressing it freely and efficiently in a dance piece. That's what an empowered or powerful dancer means to me. Someone who is not afraid to stand out, someone who is not afraid to be weird or be criticized, someone who is so honest, so raw, so true to herself that she or he brings absolute authenticity to the table. That for me is a powerful dancer. Does the masculine polarity makes you more powerful? Yes. Just like the feminine polarity does. Then again, guys, if you don't take anything else from this session, take this. It is not about bringing one polarity above the other or developing one more than the other. It's about developing both and having both working together as much as possible. So the feminine polarity will also make you a more powerful dancer because it puts you in contact with your feelings, it puts you in contact with your womb, it puts you in contact with your intuition, your unconscious mind. It makes you more receptive, more sensitive, more subtle. It brings you so many qualities that make you a more powerful dancer. But the masculine polarity also brings you power in a different way, okay? So if the feminine polarity makes me more powerful in the way that I am connected to my emotions on a deeper level, the masculine polarity makes me more powerful because it allows me to express those emotions. So the feminine is about feeling, accessing the feeling. The masculine is the ability to express that feeling. How many times have I heard dancers telling me, Joana, I feel a lot, but I cannot express it. I feel it, but I cannot make others feel it. My problem is not in feeling it. It's about expressing the feeling. I don't know if you've been through this or not, guys. Let me know if you have in the comments. I have heard this from my students many times. And I can see it. I see that they are feeling it within, but their ability to express, their ability to exhale, to bring that inner world to the outside world, this movement of exhaling, of communication, which is very much into the masculine polarity, they are not used to do it. They don't know how to do it. So both polarities make you more powerful in very different complementary ways. If the feminine polarity makes you more powerful because it develops your ability to be still and to emanate your energy, the masculine will make you more powerful because it empowers you to move. It brings fire and a kick. It gives you a kick in terms of physical movement and in terms of putting that energy out there. So you cannot divide these two. You cannot separate the day from the night. You cannot separate the conscious from the unconscious mind. You cannot separate the intuition from logic. You cannot separate doing from not doing. You cannot separate giving from receiving. You cannot separate speaking from being silent. All of these things are complements of each other. And the more you are aware of this complementarity, and the more you are unafraid to tap into your feminine and into your masculine polarity, the more you can grow as a dancer and as a person. Yes? Yes. Okay, guys, so we're gonna wrap. This took longer than I thought. I'm trying to do shorter sessions for the sake of practicality, okay? But I think it was so worth it because this session is fully packed with goodies. I'm going to invite you, as promised, to check Joana Saahirah's signature course, Egyptian Oriental Dance and Personal Development from the ABC till Mastery, happening as we speak inside Joana Saahirah's online dance school. In this signature course, which is also a membership, you will have me bringing you my original method of teaching, bringing you authentic Egyptian dance, personal discovery and empowerment in a way that you've never seen, okay? In a way that really reflects more than 20 years of experience in this career, first in Egypt and then around the world, in a way that I assure you is going to change your dance and your life. In our signature course, we work on the masculine polarity as much as we work on the feminine polarity and so many amazing, fascinating things that really make a difference in the way we dance and in the way we live. If you're interested in checking it, all you gotta do is go to the link that I'm gonna share either in the comments to this replay here on Facebook or in the description box below the video if you're watching this on my YouTube channel. If you're not ready to dive into the course, but you want to join our joy too. You want to join, I'm stubborn with the joy. Well, if you want to join our community, all you got to do is join our newsletter. I will also share the link in the comments or in the description box. And when you do, you become a part of our community and you get inspirations and content and offers that I only share with my beautiful people. That's it. And everything I just said to you right now, this offer of the signature course, this offer of you joining me with joy at our newsletter, this was a product of both my feminine and my masculine polarity. There you go. Feeling it and doing it. Yeah? And you can do it too. I love you guys. Thank you for attending. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Stunel, for your feedback. She says, yes, sometimes it can be difficult to outwardly express things. It almost feels like shielding one's true self. Yes, Stunel, but look, I know you a little bit. I know you a little bit, and you got it, baby. You're such a ray of sunshine. I'm not saying this to be nice. I'm saying this because I remember you. I've seen you in class. I've seen you at our events. You've spoken, at least in one of our events. I see you, and you got it. What are you waiting for? Come on. My darlings, Audrey says you are funny, Joy. Yeah, I was stuck with joy, and it's something good to be stuck with. You can joy our community. You can joy. Yes, you can joy our community. Yalla, joy. Joy it right now. The link is in the description box or in the comments. Thank you, Ramza. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Stuno. Thank you, Tanya, for joining. I will see you very soon, guys. Feel welcome to tell me which themes would you like me to bring to these Juju live sessions. What would you like me to answer? Let me know in the comments to this video, okay? I will see you soon, guys. A big kiss. Stay well.